What's up? Nameco here, Fantasy Smack Talk, talking rookies, and I'm real excited about this one. But first, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification so you get all of the alerts. There's gonna be a lot more rookies to come. If this is the first one you've seen some other ones, it's the first one you've seen, go ahead, subscribe, check out the other ones. But Christian McCaffrey went 8th overall to Carolina, and ooh, he looks so good for fantasy goodness. You know, the thing about McCaffrey, let's just talk about him first. At Stanford, he was ridiculous. His last 2 years, he averaged about 2,200 yards, catching and receiving or rushing and receiving. He caught about 41 balls a year and about 14.5 touchdowns is what he averaged. So this kid did it all. He was ridiculous. But the thing that I like him in terms of fantasy goodness is I don't know exactly what he's going to be. Like, there's not many people like Christian McCaffrey out there. I think he's going to play running back. I think that they could move him into the slot. Could we see a dual eligibility out of him? But let's go ahead and talk about him like he's going to be a running back. So the thing that I like about him, he's going to a good situation, right? You go into Carolina, they need that explosive weapon. So I think he's a guy that they can kind of move around. Cam's going to love him. He can be a security blanket. They can hand it off to him. I think in terms of a comp, you know, the lazy way people are like, oh, he's an upgraded Danny Woodhead, things like that. No, he's 5'11", he's 202 pounds, but he reminds me more of like a LaShawn McCoy out of the backfield. He's got that quickness, he's got a quick explosive, he's kind of elusive. So that's really the comp that I'm looking at. Sure, in terms of route running, he's also extraordinarily interesting because a ton of the GM said the best route runner in the draft was McCaffrey. Not a receiver, but was McCaffrey the running back, and you can see it in the tape. He's just got great hands, great vision, and man, can that kid run. As soon as he catches the ball, turns it upfield, I mean, he is a breakaway threat every single game. So every time he touches the ball. So what does this mean for fantasy, right? Where are you taking him? Rookies have done a lot better in the last couple years. The new rules, especially if he moves out to the slot, they can't really check him as much. That certainly helped. But in terms of his value, where do I see him? I actually see him in a PPR league being my first player off the board in terms of a rookie. I would take him over Fournette, I would take him over the receivers. I think in a PPR format, I think he could catch a ton of balls, get you a good amount of rushing yards, might lose out some goal lines, but I think the long breakaways are gonna be just fine and work out for him, especially that team, right? You get into the red zone, you're that close, you're just gonna give it to Cam to punch it in, but that's gonna be okay because he's gonna catch a ton of balls this year as well. So I really like McCaffrey, I like where he's headed, I think it's a great pick for Carolina. I wanted to put, Fournette's just not as exciting. I mean, this kid, just watch the film. If you have not seen, just watch the film on this kid. He's so fun to watch, and I don't think he's going to be a fizzle. I think he's going to be solid this year. Sky's really the limit for him. Like I said, he's kind of a little bit quicker, not as physical. McCoy is kind of what I see whenever I see him cut and run. So again, I think this is a guy that you should be targeting in keeper leagues, dynasty leagues, obviously. But in real drafts, I'm looking at him in the mid-round, and that's as of now. If I hear and see some good things, he might move up. I could see some crazy fans taking him as early as the 3rd, 4th round. I think that's nuts. But as an RB2, I think he's a legit RB2. I would take him over like an Eddie Lacy. I'd rather, have him over a Peterson even. So I just want that young and upside, and that's what I think he really does, and I think it was a great landing spot for him. So click to subscribe, hit the notification. We'll be talking a lot more rookies. Football is so close. It's getting closer.